Good evening, and welcome to Social Discourse. Tonight, we revisit the Alaska summit between U.S. and Russian officials. Was it a failed diplomatic attempt or a strategic recalibration? With me are Dr. Starmer and Dr. Rodrigo. I'm your host, Chris. Dr. Starmer, the summit opened with unusually sharp exchanges. What do you make of that?
Chris, it was blunt, no doubt. But we shouldn't confuse bluntness with failure. Both sides were drawing red lines on NATO, on election interference, on human rights. It wasn't pleasant, but sometimes diplomacy requires hard edges.
But Starmer, that's exactly the problem. When you make it a public confrontation, you're not clarifying, you're escalating. Diplomacy works best when tension is managed behind closed doors. Here, both sides box themselves in.
Rodrigo, with respect, secrecy only works when there's trust. And there is no trust between Washington and Moscow right now. At least this summit put everything on the table, even if it was messy.
Strong points on both sides. But Rodrigo, many argue it was more political theater than substantive diplomacy. Do you agree?
Yes, and that's exactly why it risks backfiring. The US wanted to look tough in front of allies. Russia wanted to show it won't be lectured. Fine. But in the meantime, nuclear arms control, cybersecurity, and regional security issues that actually matter were pushed aside.
That's unfair. Those issues weren't pushed aside, they were framed. You can't negotiate arms control if you don't first establish what the ground rules are.
Ground rules, or just grandstanding? Because from Moscow's perspective, this looked less like dialogue and more like humiliation, and humiliation breeds resistance, not cooperation.
Let's pause there. Dr. Starmer, is Rodrigo right? Did the U.S. approach risk hardening Russia's position?
Of course there's a risk, but avoiding confrontation just to keep things polite is worse. Sometimes you have to be willing to walk into the storm.
But diplomacy isn't a storm, Starmer. It's navigation. And if both captains are shouting at each other on deck, the ship doesn't move forward.
A vivid metaphor. Let me ask this. Were there any tangible takeaways from the summit beyond the fireworks?
No signed agreements, but clarity. Russia laid down its stance on NATO and sanctions. The US reiterated its position on interference and human rights. Those markers, while uncomfortable, are vital for shaping future dialogue.
But clarity without cooperation just cements hostility. Yes, we now know the boundaries, but the cost was a deeper chill in US-Russia relations.
Incredible analyses from both sides. Let's have you final thought. We begin with you, Dr. Starmer.
The Alaska summit wasn't failure, it was foundation. Messy, yes, but necessary groundwork.
I disagree, it was a missed opportunity. Diplomacy shouldn't just reveal red lines, it should also open doors, and Alaska slammed them shut.
Thank you both. Perhaps the Alaska summit was neither triumph nor total failure, but a stark reminder of how fragile U.S.-Russia relations really are. That's all for tonight on Social Discourse. Thanks for watching, and please stay connected